The time is 9 o'clock, and you are listening to CHMA 106.9 FM.
And now it's time for your CHMA News. We're broadcasting from Sackville, New Brunswick, the heart of the Maritimes and the traditional and unceded lands of the Mi'kmaq people. Coming up in the next 15 minutes, we'll have your local news, Atlantic update, weather, sports update, and some community announcements.
I'm Mike Robar, and this is your local CHMA News. Coming up today, a new co-working space is looking to create networking opportunities for local creatives. I sat down with Gabrielle Gauguin, the brains behind the operation. But first, on May 25th, packages containing contraband and unauthorized items were seized on the perimeter of the medium security unit at Dorchester Penitentiary. Items seized included crystal methamphetamine, nicotine patches, and THC. The total estimated institutional value of this seizure is $281,700, according to a May 27th press release from Correctional Service Canada, or CSC. The police have been notified and the institution is investigating. CSC has a toll-free tip line which helps ensure the information shared is protected and callers remain anonymous. That number is 1-866-780-3784. In provincial news, on Tuesday, the provincial government tabled legislation it says is intended to make New Brunswick's property tax system more stable, predictable, and transparent. An act respecting property tax reform, as the act is called, has several reforms meant to make gradual changes toward those goals. Reforms include local rate stabilizers, which will help municipal governments move away from tax rates based on assessments and towards rates based on service needs and budget decisions. An enhanced property tax allowance program, which will increase benefits and provide support to more qualifying homeowners. Adjustments to the upper and lower boundaries of the existing rate multiplier to provide more flexibility to local governments to set rates for non-residential properties and those with heavy industry. An extended 30-day appeal period to give property owners more time to appeal assessment results. Currently, owners have 21 days. And a more user-friendly bill to clearly distinguish between local government and provincial government taxation. Also included is the potential for a new heavy industry revenue transfer grant, which aims to improve fairness by ensuring communities with heavy industries receive more direct financial support to help cover the additional costs of servicing these properties, though the proposal is not expected until 2027. And now, your feature story. Gabrielle Gauguin needed to find a new place to work. She enjoyed running her tailoring business out of her home, but started finding it too easy to focus on things that weren't running her business. And never mind the need to keep things immaculate for clients coming to the house for fittings and consultations. Her search for commercial space was more difficult than she anticipated.
I looked for about 6 months and I couldn't find anything that sort of both fit the budget and the aesthetic that I was looking for. And when I reached out to John Lafford about the York building downtown, he was like, well, that's already full, but I have this space next to a flower shop I think could work really well for you.
But there was a problem. The building had 3 floors with no way to separate them, so it was take all 3 or take the basement. Gauguin opted for all 3 and came up with the concept for the Annex Collective, a new co-working space that had its grand opening in March. Inspired by Soho House, an international private members club that focuses on media, arts, and fashion industries, Gauguin envisions the Annex to be a place for creatives and entrepreneurs who may not otherwise have access to office space outside their homes, but who nonetheless want to take their business or projects to the next level. Located at 131 Main Street, in a section of the Joseph F. Allison House, the renovated space features 2 large rooms on the top floor, 8 private offices on the second floor, and a lounge, rentable office, and co-working space on the main floor. Gauguin's studio is also on the main floor. Access to the services the annex provides comes in 3 monthly membership tiers. The lowest provides access to the main floor lounge and co-working room. The second tier adds access to the boardroom, the ability to use the annex as your business address, and to have a visitor, like a client, in the space. The final tier further adds one of the dedicated offices, 24-hour access to the premises, and reserved parking. Non-members can try the space with a daily rate and can also rent the downstairs office or boardroom. So far, Gauguin has attracted a steady stream of clients, including several more permanent tenants. And after a new one starts in June, there will only be 2 of the offices left unclaimed, she said.
It's been picking up slowly and I'm really happy. Again, the annex is not my bread and butter, right? It was just meant to be a space that allows me to have a studio as well. So I'm just happy with the pace that things have been moving, and we're filling a little bit of a niche need that Sackville had, and that's great.
In addition to offering space for work or hobbies, Gauguin also hopes to see folks make use of the space for hosting events, like art classes. For her part, Gauguin was offering beginner sewing classes to teach people minor tailoring and clothing repair skills, but for now, those are paused.
With my seamstress work, this is my busiest season. Spring and summer, it's crazy. I go from crazy prom to crazy weddings, and every wedding has 6 bridesmaids, and so it is a very busy season for me. So I did pause sewing classes for that reason, but I get calls every week asking about the sewing classes and when they're going to resume. So 100%, it is definitely something that will start up again in the fall. I need to focus on the other things for like a little bit, and then we'll be able to bring them back.
As for what's next, Gauguin sees the annex growing and evolving along with the needs of those using the space. She also has some plans of her own.
I am in the process of buying a bridal shop. Because that means that I would rather start a business than fold laundry is 100% accurate. And so if that works out, we will be moving a bridal shop into the annex as well as a complement to the sewing studio.
For more information, head to the Annex Collective website at theannexcollective.ca. As always, head to chmafm.com to follow these and other stories from your community. And if you have any news tips or ideas, email news@chmafm.com. I'm Mike Robar with your local CHMA News from Tantramar.
Hi, I'm Dylan Kim, and you're listening to CHMA.
And here's your CHMA Atlantic update. Residents of a western New Brunswick town say their lives have been upended by a potato chip plant. Susan Ryan of Woodstock says the smell of chips is constant after Covered Bridge built up a factory near her house. Ryan and 16 other residents are making legal claims against the company, saying it has disrupted their quality of living because of the sights, sounds, and smells of the factory. Family-owned Covered Bridge expanded its Woodstock operation after its plant near Heartland burnt down, and the company says it's planting trees, building a fence, and taking other steps to limit its impact on the community. The New Brunswick government has introduced legislation aimed at supporting the enforcement of First Nations bylaws. The amendments are aimed at providing clarity about applying provincial procedures to First Nation bylaws. First Nations communities already draft bylaws aimed at addressing local priorities, including public safety, land use, environmental protection, and community well-being. New Brunswick is moving to set property taxes for municipalities across the province. The government says a bill tabled today will help prevent ballooning tax bills. Officials say several metrics will determine the tax rate for each municipality, including the Consumer Price Index. They say local councils that decide on a different rate will be required to explain why on property tax bills. Federal fisheries officers working on Nova Scotia's southwestern shore say they recently arrested 3 people and seized more than 1,000 pounds of lobster. The arrests were made at Port Latour on May 14th. The Federal Fisheries Department says its officers seized 72 traps that either had invalid tags or no tags at all for Lobster Fishing Area 33. The department says an inspection at a wharf confirmed that the landed lobster was caught by commercial harvesters using the non-compliant traps, exceeding their catch limit. Newfoundland and Labrador has declared the province is experiencing an epidemic of gender-based violence. Gender Equality Minister Layla Evans says a 12-member committee has been named to deal with the problem, with a report expected this fall. Evans says the committee will include government members and community advocates. Premier Tony Wakeham says the announcement sends a powerful message to survivors that say, quote, "We hear you, we believe you, and your safety matters." Nova Scotia has announced the creation of a new nature reserve. The Toymakers Marsh Nature Reserve will protect wetlands, forest, and migratory bird habitat in Digby County. The province also announced today the expansion of 2 nature reserves and 7 wilderness areas. Together, they will protect 836 hectares of Nova Scotia's land and water and 5.2 kilometers of its coastline. And that has been your CHMA Atlantic Update.
Hi, this is Sergeant Jeffrey here, speaking the voice of the Marshes, and you're listening to CHMA 106.9 FM. Sackville, New Brunswick. Langdon Corner.
And now for the weather. Today we're looking at showers about 5 to 10 millimeters with wind going northeast 20 kilometers an hour, gusting to 40 with a high of 9 and a UV index of 3 or moderate. At night, cloudy skies with a 60% chance of showers, wind north 20 kilometers an hour, gusting to 40 with a low of 6. On Friday, cloudy skies with a 30% chance of showers and a high of 10, then cloudy periods at night with a low of +4. On Saturday, a mix of sun and cloud with a high of 9, then at night, cloudy periods with a low of +1. On Sunday, cloudy skies with a high of 11, then at night, cloudy periods with a low of +3. On Monday, a mix of sun and cloud with a 30% chance of showers and a high of 12, then at night, cloudy periods with a low of +4. Finally, on Tuesday, a mix of sun and cloud with a high of 18. And that has been the weather.
Hey, this is Tashina from Love Language, and you're listening to CHMA at 106.9 FM.
And here's Brian Nielsen with your CHMA Sports Update.
Last night in the NHL, the Carolina Hurricanes score 3 goals in under 3 minutes in the first period and never let the Montreal Canadiens make it on the scoreboard. Carolina shuts out the Habs 4-0 to take a 3-1 series lead in their Eastern Conference Finals. Hurricanes hoping to make it to the Stanley Cup playoffs against the Vegas Golden Knights, who are waiting for them out west. WNBA action last night. There was 5 games. The New York Liberty defeat the Phoenix Mercury 84-74. Your Toronto Tempo with the victory on the road in Chicago, a 111-104 victory over the Sky. It was the Lynx over the Dream in Minnesota, 96-81. The other expansion squad this season won as well. Portland Fire with the 71-61 victory over the Connecticut Sun. And in the late game, it was the Washington Mystics in the Pacific Northwest defeating the Seattle Storm 78-64. Major League Baseball, Shohei Ohtani on the mound for the Dodgers, flirts with a no-hitter, and the Dodgers defeat the visiting Rockies 4-1. It was the Astros with a 4-3 victory over the Texas Rangers. The Royals get shut out at home by the Yankees, and Garrett Cole recording his first victory of the season, 7-0 final there. White Sox all over the Twins on the south side of Chicago, 15-2 final there. Mets double up the Reds at Citi Field, 4-2 final. Red Sox shut out Atlanta, 8-0. Cubs finally get their first victory in 10 games. They defeat the Pittsburgh Pirates 10-4. Your San Diego Padres lose to the Phillies at home, 3-0 final there. D-backs by 1 over the Giants in San Francisco, 3-2. Orioles all over the Rays in Baltimore, 11-2 finish there. Tigers shut out the Angels at home, 4-0. Mariners defeat the Athletics in the afternoon, 9-1 final tally there. Brewers over the Cardinals, 2-1. Guardians with a 1-run victory over the Nationals, 3-2, and another 1-run victory for Canada's own Toronto Blue Jays. They defeat the visiting Miami Marlins 2-1. And finally, over in Paris, only the women's doubles squad from Canada were in action yesterday. That's, of course, Gabriela Drabowski and Luisa Stefani from Brazil. The number 4 seeded squad defeats their opponents 6-2, 6-love.
And that's Brian Nielsen with your CHMA Sports Update. Please be sure to check out Brian's show on Mondays at 8:30 a.m. for more sports commentary.
Hey everyone, my name's Alex Friedman. I'm with the Community Radio Fund of Canada, and it's our job to support community, campus, and Indigenous radio stations across the country, and you are listening to one of the best. This is CHMA Radio.
And now for what's happening in your community. Looking for the ultimate family outing? Canada's Circus Spectacular presents Circus Rocks. It's coming to town with a brand new 2026 production. From the hilarious antics of the clowns to the mesmerizing skills of the jugglers, there is something for every kid and kid at heart. The show takes place on Thursday, May 28th at 7 p.m. at the Tantramar Civic Center on 182 Main Street in Sackville. You can buy your tickets online today and get half off of your tickets. Don't miss Canada's Circus Spectacular coming into town. The Tantramar Community Concert Band will perform a concert entitled Pictures at an Exhibition, Art Through Music on May 28th at 7:30 p.m. at the Main Street Baptist Church located on 20 Main Street in Sackville. The band features a group of accomplished local musicians under the direction of Robert McLeod. The band will also be joined by Sackville pianist Martha Turner-Rye on several pieces. Admission is by donation at the door. Don't miss this event, Thursday, May 28th at 7:30 p.m. This May, you can buy tickets for the 2026 ballet production of Alice, A Dance Tale, hosted by the Academy of Classical Ballet and Modern Dances in Sackville. This in-person event promises an exciting and imaginative dance experience you won't want to miss. It'll be showing at the Marjorie Young Bell Convocation Hall on May 29th at 6 p.m., as well as May 30th at 1 p.m. and 6 p.m. You can purchase tickets at the Sackville studio for the Academy of Classical Ballet and Modern Dances, as well as Blooms on Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Don't miss Alice, A Dance Tale, hosted by the Academy of Classical Ballet and Modern Dances. Nature Moncton is excited to host a spring duck outing for members and non-members on May 30th at 9:30 a.m. Spring in New Brunswick is a perfect time to appreciate one of the most striking groups of birds, the ducks, as they return to New Brunswick to breed or pass through on their northward migration. The event will begin at the Sackville Sewage Lagoon on Crescent Street before working through the retention ponds and ending around the Waterfowl Park Boardwalk. It starts at 9:30 a.m., but for those who would like to carpool, a car will be meeting at Sobeys on Elmwood Drive at 8:45. For more information, you can visit naturemoncton.com. And that's what's happening in your community.
And that was your CHMA News. Please visit www.chmafm.com for more news and to sign up for our email newsletter. Funding is provided by our monthly sustainers, the Community Radio Fund of Canada, and the Municipality of Tantramar's Community Development Grant. If you have a story idea or would like to include an announcement, please write us at news@chmafm.com.
Hi, I'm Emma.
And I'm Darcy.
Make sure to listen to our show, Finding Film, every Friday night at 7 p.m.
here at CHMA 106.9 FM
in Sackville, New Brunswick.
You are listening to the Late Morning Show with Maya Noel on CHMA 106.9 FM in Sackville, New Brunswick, Voice of the Marshes. Next up, we've got Casey Musgraves with Dry Spell, as well as Aldous Harding with One Stop. Enjoy.
For a late night call for a real good time. Ain't nobody to roll with in the hay. Ain't nobody but the chickens are getting late. 911, it's officially a cry for help. Y'all, I'm going through a dry spell. wanna fall, imagining from the block. Why wouldn't I wanna meet you? Why wouldn't I wanna hold? Why wouldn't I wanna meet you? Why wouldn't I wanna hold? Lord, why wouldn't I wanna meet you? Why wouldn't I wanna hold? Why wouldn't I wanna meet you? Why wouldn't I wanna hold you? Why? I've never been a believer. Why we went home? Why we went home? Why would you wanna hold me? I'll never do it again unless you wanna do it again.
That was Aldous Harding with One Stop on CHMA 106.9 FM in Sackville, New Brunswick, voice of the marshes. I'm Maya Noel, and you've been listening to the Late Morning Show. And we also heard Casey Musgraves with Dry Spell. We're going to end the show with a couple more songs. We've got Tegan Johnston with Beat a Dead Horse, as well as Laura Roy with Author. Thank you so much for listening. You can catch me again at 5 p.m.
Saw a psychic in the West Village. She told me I needed to forget about you. And in that basement room, I can't believe I'll still have it as hard as I've tried to. She said, "Oh, love, dark love has hold of my heart, and it's gonna make me lose." She said, "Oh, love, dark love will tear me apart if that's what I let it do. 'Cause I beat a dead horse. Do